talk about weft prepping. This is a vital part of the extension process. It is so important that you properly prep your wefts to set your service up for success. So there are a few things that we want to talk about. So there's going to be weft prep when you are coloring the hair, and then there's going to be weft prep when you are not coloring the hair. Most of the time we color the hair, we're either toning or rooting, but colors have come a very long way, and a lot of the extension companies do carry beautifully colored hair, so there's not a lot that you have to do to it color-wise. So we're going to start with the process of removing all of the little elastics off, and then I'm going to show you how we flat iron the tops of the wefts to actually create a flatter weft, which is going to set you up for success for your installation and for your coloring service. So let's go. You can see the wefts are coiled up and there's a little dent in the top. When we are getting ready to custom color wefts, I always will flat iron the top of the weft where the hair is actually hand tied. And this right here is going to be your thread that is going to hold the extensions together essentially. So we want to leave those on, and we want to run our flat iron over the top, and this is going to smooth out the top of the weft so it's easier to color. And I think this is really important because you really want a flat surface so you can get an even application. Now I will do this too after I wash the extensions, which we're going to get into right now. So before I install any extensions into a client's hair, I always pre-wash them before the application. And the reason why pre-washing your wefts prior to application is that it's going to take the factory coating off of the hair. And of course, this is if we aren't actually coloring the extensions, but we want to take the factory coating off of the hair, and it also makes the hair a little bit more fluffy, which is going to give you a better end result and a better looking result for the client when they walk out the door. So I always will either one, custom color the wefts and then wash and then flat iron, or I will pre-purchase wefts that are already colored and I will wash them and blow dry them for our guests that are coming inside of the salon. So you really want to make sure that when you are washing, I love using this little tool right here. I will link this extension holder in the comments so you can use them for your salon, but it really holds everything in place and it keeps the extensions from knotting. Now for me, I really like to make sure I get the top of the weft really well, especially if we are coloring. So I'll go in and really massage shampoo in that area and then I'll go ahead and give it a good wash. Now, obviously when we get the hair right out of the package, like I previously said, it does have that factory coating on it. So this prepping is actually going to make the hair look more realistic. So when the client leaves, they don't have to worry about washing the factory coating off at home. Now always make sure I give a really, really good rinse. You're going to want to wash these the same way that you actually wash your client's hair. We are going to use a really good moisturizing shampoo, and I also use a really, really good luxury professional moisturizing conditioner. We want to add moisture back into the hair. Extension hair has a tendency to get dry over time. This is new hair, so it will feel pretty nice, but we want to make sure that we're really replenishing that moisture. So sometimes I'll give it 2 shampoos, sometimes only 1, but I really make sure that I'm doing a thorough job so that when we actually apply these to our client, they look realistic and they are their best for the first experience with the extensions. Now I love this little tool. This extension caddy is amazing. It really does have multiple functions, so you can actually use it in the shampoo bowl and you can actually use it on a cart. There's 2 hooks in the back where it will actually hook onto a cart, so you can use this for blow drying as well. Now I will take the extensions and I will wrap them in a towel to get rid of most of the moisture, and I kind of wring it out. Again, I'm trying to make sure that we're not getting anything tangled or knotted. Especially the blondes, you really want to make sure that you are handling the extension hair with care. I wring most of the moisture out in the towel, and then we're actually going to go ahead and get started with our blow dry. So this is that same tool. I like to have multiple of these inside of my salon, and the reason why is we're usually doing multiple types of applications, which is incredible to have, you know, a salon that's busy with extensions, and we really do utilize this extension caddy. So as you can see, we rooted these extensions by coloring them. There is a layer of hair at the top that is short, because that's where the hair is folded over when this is hand tied. So we really want to make sure that we're watching that top and that we are blow drying it down, that we don't blow dry those hairs up in a way, because it will cause it will cause you to have more struggle with your application if you have hairs that are going in all directions. And also it can create itchiness when the client is actually wearing the extensions for the first time. So I really make sure that I do a really good job blow drying. I make sure that I apply products that are going to be beneficial. So I like to use Staying Alive by Kevin Murphy. This is a detangling spray, and I also like to use a good moisture product, and I will use an oil. Again, I'm really pushing those hairs down at the top of the weft to make sure that they don't blow dry weird. And again, if you do blow dry them and they are out of place and kind of moving in all directions, we are going to flat iron the top of our wefts when we're done. And you can also flat iron that portion as well. So I really like to make sure all the wefts are prepped. We will actually prep wefts as soon as we get them in. We do have our standard colors that we use, and we also have our standard formulas for color that we use. So I will have my assistants prep wefts all the time. So this is something that we do. And we go ahead and give it a good brush, and then we're going to start the blow drying process. Now I'm again obsessed with this little extension holder because it really does help you blow dry those hairs down. Now when you're blow drying the wefts, I feel a lot of times people will leave the top of the weft wet, and you really want to make sure that you dry this, especially if you're doing the application and weft prep in the same day, because installing a wet weft isn't really great for the client. So I make sure to blow dry all of those hairs down. You can see I'm really concentrating in that area. I'm keeping my blow dryer moving because yes, you can still have heat damage on extensions. I always love accompanying this portion of the prep with a heat protectant because this will also help protect the hair, and then the client is going home with a heat protectant already on the hair, and when they touch up their curls in between this time and their initial complimentary blowout, their hair is protected. So I really just kind of go in and blow dry it like I would a normal client's hair. I'm using my round brush to really smooth everything out. I'm directing the hair down to make sure everything is smooth. This does take some time. So if you are going to do this, I would definitely add this into your hourly rate. If you're coloring hair, you should be charging for that as well. If you're charging hourly or if you're doing a flat rate, it's up to you. But you should definitely make sure that you are charging for the work that you're putting in. So we're going to go in, we're going to blow dry all of this. I also love this caddy because it does allow you to stack a lot of wefts in there. So you could probably put, I'd say, anywhere between 10 and 12 wefts in this little caddy. So you can really get a lot of the extension blow drying done at a really rapid rate. Again, I'm really going in and making sure I'm smoothing everything out and making sure that we dry everything thoroughly. And that's it. So this is how we prep our wefts. When we're done, we really make sure that the wefts are nice and flat and that everything is looking like it's in one place. And you will have an amazing application when you take the time to actually invest in really making sure that the hair is ready to go for your clients. I hope this lesson was beneficial to you, and if you have any questions, of course, feel free to reach out at any time.